Hello children, today we'll do another lesson, another poem in English literature. Before we begin with today's poem, I want everyone to remove their English literature textbook. We have already done chapter number 1, a surprise. We have done the second lesson, that's a poem to a butterfly. Today we'll do lesson number 4, okay, the clothesline by Charlotte Jude Cole. Okay, turn to page number 28 of your textbook. Hold a pencil in your hand. Okay children, now children, uh, what do you mean by clothesline? Okay, before we begin with the poem, before I talk about the poetess, I want to ask you all, when I say clothesline, okay, what thing or what do you mean by clothesline? I'll help you out. I'll give you a hint. I'll show you one picture. Okay, now looking at picture, what you can see in this picture? You can see clothes, you can see a rope, and you can see the clothes are there on the rope, isn't it? So what is a clothesline? A clothesline means a rope or wire on which washed clothes are hung to dry. Okay, so what is a clothesline? A clothesline, either it's a rope or a wire, okay, on which we keep washed clothes to dry. Okay, normally you must have seen your mummies, okay, parents at home. After washing the clothes, they keep it for drying in the what do you call it, near outside the window. They with the help of the rope, on the rope, okay, they tie the rope from one edge of the window to the another edge of the window, and on that rope they put the clothes to dry. Okay, now the clothes dry with the help of the sunlight as well as with the help of the wind. So this poem is about the clothesline. Okay, now first let me read the poem. Let us read the poem. The clothesline. When I am reading now, children, keep your move the pencil as we are going with the words. Okay, hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither and to and fro, flip flap flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow, like restive horses they caper and prance, like fairy tale witches they wildly dance, rounded in front, but hollow behind. They shiver and skip in the merry March wind. One I saw dancing excitedly, struggling so wildly, till she was free. Then, leaving pegs and clothesline behind her, she flew like a bird, and no one can find her. I saw her gleam like a sail in the sun, flipping and flapping and flopping for fun. Nobody knows where she now can be, hid in a ditch or drowned in the sea. She was my handkerchief not long ago, but she'll never come back to my pocket, I know. So, children, here the poet, who is the poet of the poem The Clothesline? Charlotte Jude Cole. Okay, a very little is known about this poet. Okay, she was born on 13th January, that is 13th January 1878. Okay, and she was youngest of the 15 children. So in this particular poem, she is talking about the clothes which are hanging on the clothesline. Now children, we all know that clothes are non-living things, okay, but here she is comparing the clothes on the clothesline as though it is having as though those clothes are having life. Okay, she is comparing a non-living thing with various living things. Let us see. Now come to page number 28. Now children, every two line will be considered as first stanza. Okay, like when I say first stanza, I am talking about first two line. When I say second stanza, I am talking about the next two lines. Okay, we will take two line as one stanza. Okay children, because here they have not given separately. It's like a full what do you call it, some 18 lines are given at one stretch. So to make it more easy for us to understand, we'll divide every two line as one stanza. Okay, now come to page number 28 of your textbook. The first two line, okay, Hand in hand, they dance in a row, hither and thither, and to and fro. So over here, children, what the poet is saying, that she saw a few clothes, okay, is been hung on the clothesline. They are kept on, they are hung on the clothesline so that they can dry. Okay, so the clothes, the wet clothes we can dry those wet clothes. So here she is saying that hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither, and to and fro. So looking at those clothes which are hanging on the clothesline, the poet is feeling, now see, when we dry the clothes on the clothesline, what we do, we place the clothes very close to each other. Okay, we dry the clothes one beside the other. If you see the clothes right now in your balcony, okay, how it is hanged, how mummy has kept the clothes for drying, she must have kept one cloth beside the other for drying on the rope. So when the poet is seeing those clothes, okay, which are being kept on the which are hung on the clothesline, okay, she is feeling that all the clothes are holding each other's hand because they are placed one beside the other. So since they are placed one beside the other, the poet is feeling that all the clothes are holding each other's hand and they are dancing very happily. Okay, why she is feeling that they are dancing very happily? Are they leaving things to dance? No. But what happens when the wind blows? Okay, the clothes move in all the direction. Hither and thither means what? In various direction the what you call the clothes move. Okay, in which direction the wind is blowing, the clothes also moving in this in that particular direction. So hither and thither and to and fro means what? The clothes are moving in various direction in a disorganized way. So in the first two lines, the poet is saying that the clothes which are there on the clothesline, they are placed one beside the other. Looking at those clothes, I feel means what? The poet is feeling as though the clothes, all the clothes are holding each other's hand and they are dancing happily. Okay, excitedly, they are very excited and they are dancing very happy. They have like they are really very happy and they are dancing. Okay, dancing in the means what? The movement, like they are blowing in all the direction, like in which direction the wind is blowing, in that direction even the clothes are moving. Okay, hither and thither and to and fro. Flip flap flop and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. So over here the next two line, okay, that is the third line. When I say flip flap flop and away they go means what? The clothes are like, it's showing the movement of the clothes. How we take the somersault, like that the cloth is also taking the full turn. It's moving around, it's taking turn around. So the movement of the what do you call it, the clothes. Okay, the poet is saying, looking at the movement of the clothes, the way it is moving in all the direction. Here the poet is comparing, okay, the movement of the what do you call it, the clothes, to those white like fluttering creatures as white as snow. What is white color in the sky, children, which moves? I'm not talking about the clouds. So here the poet is saying that fluttering creatures means was those shake, like which creatures move. What you see in the sky, children? The birds. So over here the movement, the way the clothes are moving in the breeze, the poetess is comparing the movement of the breeze to those white birds which are flying in the sky. Okay, so in the first four line, what the poetess is talking about, she is talking about the clothes which are hanging on the clothesline. Okay, to her, to the poet, they look as if they are holding hands, means all the clothes are holding each other's hand. They are standing in a proper they are standing in a row. Okay, they are standing in a line. In a row means what? They are standing in a line and they are dancing merrily. Okay, and the way the clothes are moving backward, forward, moving in all the direction, she is comparing them to the white birds which are flying in the sky. Okay, now like restive horses they caper and prance, like fairy tale witches they wildly dance. So in the next two line, that is the fifth and sixth line, restive horses means what? Have you seen a restless horse, children? When the horse is very happy, okay, How, what they do? They run here and there. Okay, they run, they raise their leg up, okay, higher than the normal one. They raise their leg up, they jump, they dance. Okay, so here the poet is saying that in a very energetic manner, how the horse, okay, how the restless horse, they run and jump, okay, in a very energetic manner, okay, and they raise their leg. In the similar manner, when the wind is blowing, the clothes also does the same thing. Okay, like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. How the witches, okay, the demon lady in the fairy tale, okay, who does the black magic, who's a very bad demon woman in the fairy tale, how she dances. Okay, like that. Here the poetess is comparing the movement of the clothes when the breeze blows, like those restless horses. Okay, how they run and how the horses run and jump in an energetic way, how they take small step, how they raise their legs up, like that. The clothes are moving. Okay, they are running, they are jumping about in an energetic manner, they are flying, like how much high they can go, that much they are flying, that high they are flying. How the witches in the fairy tale, how they are dancing, in the similar manner the clothes are moving. Rounded in front but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. So over here in the next two lines, that is the 7th and 8th line, rounded in front but hollow behind. Children, have you seen a bowl in which you put the curry? That bowl, how is the bowl? The edge of the bowl is round, isn't it? And in between it is hollow. So in the similar manner, for example, if you take a cloth, okay, hold it, stand in the balcony, okay, when the wind blows, what happens? From one side, if two children are standing, two are standing in front of each other, okay, if suppose one child is holding a cloth, okay, and if he is blowing it, so what happened? The person who's standing on the other side, he'll see the round part of that particular cloth, and the person who's blowing, he will see the hollow part of the in that cloth. Okay, because of the pressure of the wind, the cloth it has become hollow. So in the similar manner, the poetess, okay, here she's saying that the way the clothes flutter, okay, on the clothes line, they form a bowl like shape, okay, which is round at the edge and hollow in the center. Okay, they shiver and skip. Shiver means what? When you feel cold, how you shiver? You shiver, na children, the movement of your body. Okay, and skipping. So here the poet is saying during the month of March, okay, the beginning of the spring season, in between the winter and summer we have the spring season. How the spring season, the weather is really very pleasant. Okay, we can still feel the coolness, in the air. So the poet is saying that she is talking about the March month, when the wind is blowing. Okay, because of that, what happened, the clothes are also moving. The way the clothes are moving, she is feeling as though the clothes are really feeling very cold. Okay, because of which they are shivering. So here in the next two lines, that is the 7th and 8th line, the poet is talking about she's telling, as the clothes flutter, as the clothes move on the clothes line, they form a bowl like shape that is round at the edges and hollow in the center. The poetess also feels that the clothes are shivering, okay, and skipping in the wind. That is very happy during the month of March. So in the month of March, the clothes are really very happy. Why? Because of the wind, as though they are feeling really very cold, and because of that coldness they are shivering. How we shiver. But you can see in all the lines, the poet is comparing the non-living thing clothes to various living things. Okay, how we will react. In the similar manner, she's giving a non-living thing a living, she's comparing a non-living thing with the living things. Okay, so I stop over here. I'll revise again all the 8 lines which I have explained you all. Now I'm talking about the first 4 lines. Okay, I'll take the first 4 lines. Okay children, first I took 2 lines, now I'm taking 4 lines. Okay, hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither and to and fro, flip flap flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. So over here, children, the poetess is talking about the clothes which are hanging on the clothesline. Okay, to her they look as if they are holding hands. Why she feels that the clothes are holding hands? Because the clothes are being placed one beside the other on the rope. Standing in a row. Standing means what? On one rope, all the clothes are like you can't put it is in a line, proper straight line. Okay, and because of the wind, all are dancing merrily. Okay, they are moving in all the direction. So she compares them to the white birds that fly in the sky. Okay, how the birds move and they feel very happy when they are flying in the sky. In the similar manner, when the wind blows, the clothes are moving in all the directions. So here she is saying even the clothes are very happy like those white birds which are flying in the sky. Now let's take the next four lines, that is the 5th, 6th and 7th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Like restive horses, they caper and prance. Like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. Rounded in front, but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. So children, in the next four line, here the poetess compares the clothes which are hanging on the clothesline to those restless horses that are jumping, okay, leaping and galloping with happiness. As the clothes flutter on the clothesline, they form a bowl-like shape that is round at the edges and hollow in the center. The poetess also feels that the clothes are shivering, okay, and they are skipping in the wind, that is very happy during the month of March. So children, hold a pencil in your hand. I'll mark the words and you can learn the meanings which are there at the back of the textbook. And those who are not having the textbook with them right now, you can learn through this video. Okay, hand in hand they dance in a row, hither and thither and to and fro, and underline the word hither and thither, that is here and there. It can be like hither and thither means what? They are moving in various direction in a very disorganized way. Flip, flap, flop, and away they go, fluttering creatures as white as snow. Underline the word creatures. Like restive horses. Underline the word restive. They caper and prance. Underline the word caper. Underline the word prance. Like fairy tale witches, they widely dance. Underline the word witches. Rounded in front, but hollow behind, they shiver and skip in the merry March wind. So I stop the poem here only. The remaining part of the poem we'll do in the next lecture. And for those children who are not having the textbook, you can learn the meaning. See over here, chapter 4, the clothesline. The first meaning, caper, means to run and jump about in an energetic manner. Then flapping, waving about. Then flipping, turning over quickly one or more times. Flopping, falling or dropping heavily. Fluttering, shaking in the breeze. Then pegs, small hooks or clips that prevent the wet clothes put on a clothesline from dropping. Prance, take small quick steps and raise the legs higher than necessary. Restive, restless. Now children, in those first 8 lines, okay, whichever words are there from these meaning and which are there in those first 8 lines of the poem, learn those meanings only, okay, which are there in the first 8 lines. Learn those meanings only from here. And learn those 8 lines nicely, children. Okay.